Here now with my panel to discuss, Fox News political contributor Tammy Bruce. She's also Independent Women's Voice president, Washington Times columnist. Lindsey Bell, research investment strategist. Capri Cafaro, former Democratic Ohio State Senate minority leader. And Ned Ryan, former George W. Bush presidential writer. Capri, I want to start with you because as a Democrat, when you hear President Trump talk about these things, knowing yesterday we saw consumer confidence at a 14-year high, present situation at a 17-year high. We saw ADP jobs report out today, 53,000 goods-producing jobs. I call those dirty fingernail jobs. In 2016, the average was 5,000 a month. It is hard to push back against what he was saying there.
I think, and you know this about me, Charles, I give credit where credit is due, and I raise questions where I think is necessary. There's no question about it that we are seeing, some level of economic renaissance here across the United States with the market and with the litany of statistics that you just rolled out there. But President Trump talks about the forgotten people in America. Those forgotten people come from places like I'm sitting in right now, my home community, my home state of northeastern Ohio. And we cannot forget about them. So we can't forget about there are 1,500 people that just got laid off at General Motors Lordstown in my home community of Trumbull County, Ohio. Another 1,000 men and women that are going to be losing their jobs out in the Midwest related to Harley Davidson announced layoffs. So, yes, there's a lot to be excited about, but in that we cannot lose sight that there's still more to be done. There are still people that need to be helped, and there are still, unfortunately, jobs being lost. My takeaway there is we really need to hustle on NAFTA, and we need to make some decisions on tariffs. Those two things together are going to help the manufacturing jobs that are being lost in places like General Motors Lordstown, as well as Harley Davidson. Well,
those are great points, and I will say, we aren't buying cars. That kind of bothers. That's kind of problematic there. Also, we're not buying motorcycles, but the other side of that is we've seen 300,000 manufacturing jobs come back since January of last year. Today, the Federal Reserve put out a big report from all the different regions. Just one place in eastern Minnesota said it's sold out. It was a jobs fair, sold out. 50 employers showed up. They had 1,700 open positions. Ned, right now there's 6.5 million job openings in this country. We've never seen it before. So, we've got a skills gap. There's no debating about that, but we've never seen it this opportunistic before.
Well, and it's amazing to me, Charles, look at IMD Competitive Center out of Switzerland. Even last week, they said the U.S. is #1 globally in regards to competitiveness because of our economic strength and infrastructure. And it's amazing to me, all these people talking about is Trump really, the cause for all of this? How quickly we forget the Obamavilles of 2009. And I was joking with a friend the other day, Donald Trump in many ways is the FDR to Obama's Herbert Hoover. And, we were told back then, 1.5 to 2%, that's the new normal in regards to GDP. The best days are behind us. This is all about managing decline. Now we're disappointed that we're only averaging 2.9% GDP with Trump, and I think we're still going to go higher than that. But isn't that funny how we find that a little bit disappointing? I think, though, the best days are coming still because I think what Trump is not taking enough credit for, Charles, is the fact that he is destroying and rolling back the regulatory state, which has been a stifling factor on our economy. He killed or delayed 1,500 regulations in his first year, and he's still breaking those chains off our economy. Yeah. So you look at the unemployment, 3.9%. Record unemployment among African-American, Asian, and Hispanic communities. I think there's a lot of positive things for us moving forward, and I still think we've got a lot of good things to be looking forward to in the future.
And let me tell you, Tammy, how good it is. In this same Fed report, which I'll talk more about in my market segment, we learned that in the St. Louis area, they said that employers have now relaxed their opposition to hiring convicted felons and also drug users. In San Francisco, businesses are teaming up with universities to create job training centers. In almost every region in this country, we do have a job shortage, but it is, the notion that the same tide lifts all ships, it is lifting all ships right now.
Literally true. And this is where it just goes to show you with what Obama was doing, took energy to keep the country down. What Trump is doing is just unlocking the doors. He just lifted it up. So that's the insight. But the energy it took over the last 8 years, this is the natural state of the American individual. And so when all of this then returns with, again, removing regulations, which is what the hammer was, which the boot on our neck, a deliberate effort to keep things down. Now we're returning. And when you've got individuals, when we've got so many jobs, you need more training, it naturally then, we naturally as Americans meet that demand. So we see it in the rally last night. Americans are remembering and hearing again about the simple enthusiasm, and it is, the economy is a frame of mind to some degree, but then we see actions being taken to welcome this new excitement.
You just alluded to something that reminds me of what President Trump said last night, but there's a word he's been using now for about a week and a half, and that's talent.
Yes.
He kept talking about talent. Now, part of that is, I think, the president is also CEO of the country, chief excitement officer. But we do have an issue where our 15-year-olds have been testing substantially lower than the rest of the world. We do have an issue where everyone admits that we have this skills gap. So while we do have talent, we need to foster that talent also. And I think that's something I hope the administration looks forward to doing as well.
Yeah, you know, Charles, I would just add to that a little piece of news that was very undercover last week happened was the Labor Department. They developed a task force for apprenticeship expansion. And this is how we're going to fill that skills gap. And what we need is people that are either being underpaid or unhappy in their current situations, or these young people that they look at the price of college and it seems astronomical these days, to consider vocational schools, and then also consider these apprenticeship programs. The only place we do it in this country is in the construction area, and we could do it across a lot more places like technology.
Let me ask you, watching this market today, there was talk throughout the session. There was a talk about China the administration surprises China with tariffs. North Korea, is a deal on, is it off? The tariffs will go through next Friday on Europe. These are headlines that have knocked the stuffing out of the market before. Nevertheless, we closed up 300 points. The Russell 2000, which is a great proxy for the domestic economy, at an all-time high, up 1.5%. The market seems to be ignoring that noise now. What do you make of that?
You know what? I think yesterday was a big knee-jerk reaction. We keep seeing these knee-jerk reactions, and yesterday was a really big one. It reminded me of Brexit a little bit. But what we're seeing today is you get back to the fundamentals of this economy, and people realize, investors realize, this is the best place to be if you're going to be invested in the stock market right now, because we have the economic growth. It might be slow, but it is growing.
No, it is steady, and it seems to be gaining some strength. But let me ask you, Capri, you mentioned some areas within Ohio. We know there's always going to be sort of those pockets, but Midwestern unemployment, some of those states are remarkable. Some are under 2% right now. This seems like the right kind of momentum. And again, the politics aside, are you somewhat surprised? Because we believed for a long time that manufacturing jobs weren't coming back. It wasn't political rhetoric. We just looked at the chart. We went from 17 million to 12 million. There was no way it was supposed to come back like this.
Right. Well, I think a lot of that is, down, for example, to consumer confidence, and this desire to actually purchase goods. I've always been a big believer that you grow the economy from the middle out, not from the top down. Although we've obviously seen some of the tax cuts that the employers have received being passed on to, their employees, being reinvested, having higher wages and things of that nature. So when people have more money in their pocket, they're buying more stuff. If they're buying more stuff, more people are getting employed, and more people therefore are buying more stuff, and the cycle goes on. So that is what we thrive on in the Midwest.
If I could just...
but in economics, they call that the virtuous cycle, by the way. The velocity of money, we haven't seen it in a long time. I think we are seeing it now.